Oh boy, do I got something for you guys today. Oh yeah.
Warning! Warning! Intruder alert! Intruder alert!
Before we start though, guys, I just want to let everyone know here that if you do not want any spoilers and you want to go into Season of Discovery completely in the dark and you don't want to know what the new BFD raid is going to drop in terms of gear and items, this is not the video for you. I am going to show you guys all the items that I was able to find that will be dropping from BFD. All of these are new items that were not in the game before, so without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, so first up on our list here, I'm going to give you guys 3 of the coolest items that I think that they have added, because at level 25, this gear slot has been slacking forever. These items were not in the game before, and the items that I'm going to show you guys are trinkets. So yes, we've gotten 3 new trinkets. The first one is a physical DPS trinket that gives you plus 10 shadow resistance and 10 attack power. That is our Avenger's Void Pearl. And next we have the Invoker's Void Pearl, which gives you plus 10 shadow resistance and 8 spell damage. This would be used for your mages, your warlocks, your priests, your balanced druids, maybe even for your paladins, depending on the spec. And then last but not least, we have the Acolyte's Void Pearl, which gives you plus 10 shadow resistance and plus 15 healing to your healing spells. So if you're a holy paladin, you're a priest, you're a druid, you're a shaman, this one is going to be for you if you are healing. Pretty cool to see that they've added trinkets to this level bracket. Trinkets were always something that were really hard to come by in Vanilla WoW, and to be able to have some decent trinkets that do affect your performance at level 25 is simply awesome. Okay, so next up we have a belt. Yes, a waist slot item called Gamura's Cinch. This item will give you 8 stamina, 8 intellect, and I'm not sure if it replaced the other 2 belts that did drop in BFD before, or if it's just an addition. The other 2 belts that used to drop before were Gamura's Bind, which gave you 4 stamina, 4 intellect, and Moss Cinch, which gave you 5 stamina, 11 intellect. Gamura's Cinch is a cloth belt, so I'm not 100% sure. Maybe Moss Cinch will still be in the game, or maybe they took Gamura's Bind and Moss Cinch and combined it into Gamura's Cinch. Next up on our list here, we have shoulder pads. Yes, there are 3 new sets of shoulder pads that are going to be dropping from our Blackfathom Deeps raid. The first set of shoulders is going to be the Sub-Zero Pauldrons. These are cloth shoulders with 4+ intellect and 6 frost spell damage. Those obviously are going to be good for your mages. And then we have a male set of shoulder pads, Shoulder Guards of Crushing Depths. These are going to give you 3 strength, 11 stamina, good for your warriors and your paladins that are trying to DPS. And then we have our shimmering shoulder pads, which are male shoulders with 206 armor, 6 stamina, and plus 5 defense. These are clearly going to be for your prot warriors and your prot paladins. Speaking of prot warriors and prot paladins, we have a new shield that has been given to us in the BFD raid. That is Shell Plate Barrier. This shield has 725 armor, 14 block rating, and 13 strength. This is a massive shield to acquire at level 25, so prot paladins most likely will be using this. Even shamans that are tanking, probably going to be using this shield as well. Warriors might be tanking with 2-handers or dual wielding. Not 100% sure how that's going to work yet, but if they are going to use shields, this would be for them as well. Up next on our list here, we have a new range slot item, the Naga Heart Render. And the Naga Heart Render might be replacing the Naga Heart Piercer, which used to drop in BFD before. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure if they're replacing these old drops or just adding new ones. So maybe both of these bows can drop, but the Naga Heart Piercer came in at 10.56 DPS with a 1.8 speed, and the Naga Heart Render comes in at 15.4 DPS with a 2.5 speed. Clearly a way better weapon, so hunters are going to be pumping with this thing. And then speaking of hunters, we have a new polearm that's going to be dropping in the BFD raid, the Guardian's Trident. This polearm is going to be huge for hunters. It gives 8 agility. This is going to be pretty massive, especially even if hunters are going to go with that melee spec that we've seen with all these runes. It has a 3.0 speed, 89 top end damage, and 24.7 DPS. With that 8 agility, this is going to be a massive 2-hander if hunters want to go melee, and if they don't, it's just a nice stat stick. 8 agility on a 2-hander at this level is amazing. Okay, so the next item I want to go over with you guys that's going to be dropping in BFD is the Cracked Water Globe. This is an offhand item that gives +5 intellect, +10 spirit, and +10 frost resistance. This is going to be really nice for your warlocks and your mages, anyone who's using a one-hander and needs a nice offhand with some intel and spirit on it, priests as well. This is going to be pretty big, maybe even druids actually. This is going to be a great item. The 10 spirit at this level is amazing. That frost resistance will really help in the raid, and then obviously 5 intellect. Who doesn't want 5 intellect? Moving on though, we have 2 new next slot items that are going to be dropping in BFD. We have the Droplet Choker, which gives you 5 stamina, 6 spirit, and then we have the High Tide Choker that gives 7 strength, 4 agility. This is a massive neck piece for your rogues, your warriors, even your hunters, getting 4 agility on your neck at that level, your enhancement shamans, your feral druids, your ret paladins. This is a big piece of gear for physical DPS, and even the Droplet Choker is going to be amazing on your mages, your warlocks, your priests, maybe your balanced druids, your elemental shamans. 5 stamina, 6 spirit. Those are really good stats to have on a neck piece at level 25 as well. Moving on, we also have a new leg slot item that's going to be dropping in BFD, a male leg slot item that gives you 8 strength, 5 agility, and 7 stamina. These are the leggings of the faithful. These are humongous legs for your paladins that are going ret and your warriors. I don't think there's any other legs in the game at this level that could even compare. Maybe Trip Runner dungarees, but you are not going to be completing Rig Wars at level 25. So leggings of the faithful are going to be the go-to leg piece for paladins and warriors in this phase. We have a new dagger, a 1.3 speed dagger, Chipped Bite of Serikis, gives you +10 nature resistance, 17.7 DPS with 30 top end damage, and a chance on hit to poison a target for 4 nature damage every 2 seconds for 20 seconds, which is pretty big at this level, but we're not 100% sure here if they're replacing the original Bite of Serikis with this new dagger. It looks like they might be. It looks very, very similar. So I think that's what's happening here, is that they are replacing it with the Chipped Bite of Serikis. It's not that much different. Realistically, the only difference between these two weapons is the tooltip, saying this dagger appears weathered, yet its edge remains razor sharp. Up next, we have a really nice chest slot item called the Clam Weave Tunic. This is a cloth chest piece that gives you 130 armor, +4 agility, +12 stamina, and +6 intellect. On the tooltip, it says, you're not entirely certain, but you're pretty sure that clam weaving isn't a real thing. This tunic is actually really good. I can see a lot of classes using this. Hunters might use this. Obviously, warlock tanks would be using this from the stamina and the agility standpoint. It's pretty massive. Maybe even rogues for that amount of stamina and 4 agility on there. That's pretty good. I mean, if you're Alliance, you're going to get Tunic of Westfall, so I'm not 100% sure about that, but this is a huge tunic. Even without the 4 agility, just 12 stamina, 6 intellect is really big at this level, so pretty much all casters are going to want this either way. Moving on to the wrist slot, we have 2 new items appearing here. We have the Bindings of Serikis, which are leather wrists that give you 6 strength, 3 stamina, great for your feral druids, your rogues, enhancement shamans. And then we have the Hydroxian Bangles, which are male and give you 5 strength, 8 stamina. Again, going to be big for your warriors, big for your ret paladins. That's going to be a massive piece of gear. And again, I'm not sure if this is replacing the old leather wrists that used to drop in here, or if they're still dropping, not 100% sure, but those were the Bands of Serikis that gave you 4 strength and 2 stamina. Moving on to our back slot, we have 2 new back slot items here. The Flowing Scarf, which gives you 5 intellect, 6 spirit, massive for your casters. And then we have the Shimmering Thresher Cape, which gives you 6 strength, 6 spirit, 5+ fire resistance, and 10+ to shadow resistance. Pretty big cape there. Again, these could be replacing the old Glowing Thresher Cape, which gave you 3 strength and 8 spirit. Not sure how that's going to go, but obviously all casters are going to be going for that Flowing Scarf, and then most of your melee are probably going to be going for the Shimmering Thresher Cape if they need those resistances for the raid. Again, we don't know how that's going to work, but 2 nice capes appearing in the raid, which is awesome. Up next, we have another weapon, a main hand weapon. We're going to be getting Strength of Purpose, which is a main hand mace with a 2.0 speed, 19.2 DPS, 2 stamina, 6 intellect, 4 spirit. Not sure if this is going to be replacing the old Encrusted Scepter, which was a 2.6 speed mace with 17.12 DPS, 5 stamina, and 2 intellect. But this mace will be really nice for maybe paladin tanks because it's a little bit quicker. Maybe even some enhancement shamans would be using this, but we'll see what happens with that. And yes, I saved the best for last. If you guys watched the BlizzCon playtest, this item was seen on that as well. And I'm not 100% sure if it's replacing Strike of the Hydra, which is the old two-handed sword that used to drop in there with the chance on hit that gives a corrosive acid that deals 7 nature damage every 3 seconds and lowers a target's armor by 50 for 30 seconds with a 3.3 speed and 102 top-end damage. But we're getting the Fathom Blade, a 2.5 speed two-handed sword with 73 top-end damage, 24.2 DPS, and a chance on hit to blast all enemies in front of you with pressurized water, basically like a cone of cold, and then an equip effect that increases your chance to hit by 1%. And on the tooltip it says, the sound of crashing waves echo with every swing. Not 100% sure if that's going to be replacing Strike of the Hydra. They're completely different weapons, so maybe both of them will be dropping, or maybe they're remaking Strike of the Hydra. We're not 100% sure on that yet. But anyways, guys, this is all of the gear that I've found that's going to be dropping in the Blackfathom Deeps raid. I didn't see a video on this on YouTube yet, so I wanted to make this for you guys, so I hope you enjoyed it. Hope I didn't spoil anything. That's why I put that disclaimer at the beginning saying, hey, if you don't want any spoilers, click off this video because I'm going to be showing you the gear that's going to be dropping in our first raid in Season of Discovery. So if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It really does help me out. And subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next time I post a video. And if you guys want to hang out with me live, I do stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/hammerdance Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll drop a link to that in the description below this video. And also, I'm working on class guides for every single class. I'm sure you guys can see I've been putting out the videos. If you want to join the community Discord, I have a channel dedicated to each class in Season of Discovery with links to the builds and guides that I'm creating right there on the Discord as well. So anyways, guys, that's all from me. Thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.